That's it. So we can go a bit further.
Yes, just give me a moment, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, that was the meaning of the webinar. English from the first word, first phrase, first sentence, first lesson, first week, first month, first year, and so on and so forth. So it means that we are going to speak about the beginning of English lessons with early language learners. As I already said, but I'm not sure if everyone heard me, early language learners are usually those who, the children aged 4 up to 7. It means kindergarten and the first year of school in many countries. I will focus on this age group, but all these activities work with slightly older children as well, because in our country, in the Czech Republic, children officially start learning English from grade 3, which means they are 9 already, and it's crucially late. Oh, so if there are Czech teachers, please think about forcing the government to make the new rule for that. Okay, thank you, Martin. Can we go a bit? So, when is it best to start teaching? Actually, everybody tries to solve what age is the best to start. It's not important. The important thing is when to do it, up to which age it is beneficial for the children. So it's up to the age of 7, because the first 7 years the children have a natural gift from the mother nature to be sensible towards communicative aspects of learning. They get this present to learn mother tongue. So if you want to make profit from teaching them English, we should start at this period. They actually learn in a holistic way. I will speak about that later on. Okay, can we move the slide?
Yeah, now I think you can move the slides on your own.
Okay. Yes, I can. Okay, so thank you, Martin. So when does a child need to learn, what does a child need to learn English? Do they need instructions in mother tongue, translation, vocabulary lists, grammar rules and overviews, explanations, nice, colorful course books, gap-filling exercises in workbooks, teachers who hardly ever speak English? Don't laugh. They really exist. In many schools, children are taught these ways with instructions in mother tongue, translation, how do you say this in English, said in mother tongue. They get vocabulary lists, and they are even tested in vocabulary. Actually, they need none of those. They need just one piece of paper. And now I'm going to show you. I will move my camera a bit so that you can see me. Can you? Okay. So now I'm going to show you how you can start introducing English in the very first lesson with little kids. So first you have to welcome them in your mother tongue, and then you promise them to do everything in English. Okay, hello children, now we have the first lesson in English. Are you looking forward to it? Okay, so let's go. Take a piece of paper. Now squeeze it. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Press, 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 and roll. Squeeze, press, and roll. Squeeze, press, and roll. Look, a paper ball. Hello, paper ball. Hello, paper ball. Hello, ball. How are you? I am fine. And what about you? Hello, ball. How are you? I am fine. And what about you? We sing several times so that the children get used to the tune and the words. And then, now, let's go up, 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 down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 around and around, around and around, up, 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 down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 down. Are you able to see me still? Okay. Now put your paper ball on your foot. Put it on your other foot. Put it on your knee. Put it on your other knee. Put it on your shoulder. Put it on your other shoulder. Put it on your head. Up, 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 up. Down, 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 down. Up, 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 up. Around and around. Down, 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 down. Around and around. And we are playing with the paper ball this way. How many minutes can the children pay attention to this activity? What do you guess? From my experience, it's up to 25 minutes. Of course, younger children take 15, 20 minutes, but it's still okay because I do these activities in different succession. Every time they seem to lose interest, I change the order of activities or do something unusual. For example, around and around above my head, because every time I do it around my body. So they are entertained this way for a couple of minutes, let's say, but that's still not all because I have a piece of paper. And we are going to draw what? A paper ball. Okay, how? Round and round, draw a ball. Round and round, draw a ball. Round and round, draw a ball. Sorry, can you see that? Round and round, draw a ball. Have you finished? Present perfect. In the very first lesson. Yes, it's on purpose. Because it's very easy to explain. Children wouldn't understand, of course, but I will go around, walk around, and when I see this ball, I will do something like, great. If I see some white space, I will show them round and round, draw a ball, round and round. Have you finished? Round and round. Have you finished? Round and round. Have you finished? Okay. Now, cut it out of paper. Cut it out of paper. Look! A magic. A paper ball and a paper ball. Hello, paper ball. Hello, paper ball. How are you? I am fine. And what about you? I am fine. And what about you? Goodbye, goodbye. And we finished the first lesson with a role play with 2 paper balls. So now let's revise. What have we done? Was there listening? Have they listened? Yes. Speaking? Yes, they join in with the first repetition. Adults usually don't. I have to remind them if I do this activity in my course. Was there communication? Of course, they were in a dialogue. Was there a movement? Definitely. Was there music? Hello, ball, how are you? Of course. Art, round and round, draw a ball. A craft, cut it out of paper. Concentration, definitely. They pay attention all the time. Attitude, of course, they will come home and say, Mom, English is fantastic. I like it. Or not? And all of these are in the first lesson because we have to convince them that English is something fantastic. Okay, so what are we going to do the following lesson? Of course, we have to revise. So I usually tell teachers, put the paper in the original form, which they usually laugh at. And we do again, squeeze, press, roll, squeeze, press, roll, squeeze, press, roll. Look, a paper ball. And do the same. But sometimes I switch the activities. If you remember, put it on your foot, put it on your knee, put it on your other foot, put it on your shoulder, put it on your other knee, put it on your other shoulder, put it on your head, put it on your nose, raise your ball up, put your ball down, pass your ball round and round, and now sit down. Children sit down in a circle and they have those beautiful, colorful paper balls of 3 colors. And we do some other activities. But the first part of the lesson is always revising what we did the previous lesson. Okay, so this is the beginning of exposure to the target language. How much translation did I need for this lesson? What do you think? Was there any? Actually, I don't know if I said anything outside the children's exposure. Yeah, only some methodology remarks for you. So I usually speak about 40 minutes only in English on the very first lesson. And that, have you finished? So they definitely won't understand, but they will get the signal that sometimes I'm happy and sometimes I show them to continue. Then when I use the very same question for 3 or so months in a similar situation, suddenly I will hear, after I ask, have you finished? Yes, yes, because they already know how to reply. Or jeszcze nie, ja jeszcze potrzebuję dokończyć, which means in mother tongue, sorry, I need to finish my picture, which both shows me that they got the meaning of the phrase, have you finished? Without any explanation, translation, grammar overview, and so on. So that initial period of teaching language is very essential for the children to grab the grammar. So we never explain grammar, but we always use it. Any kind of grammar that is suitable for the situation. What we simplify is vocabulary. So we don't use many words. We try to work with a small range of words and repeat and use them in different situations. Yeah? Okay, so that was the first lesson. Yeah, that was that round and round, draw a ball. In the second lesson, I use colorful paper, as I already mentioned, and I teach them colors, 3 colors. And then they get this worksheet, and I ask them to color in the first ball with in blue, and I have a big blue pencil and show them round and round, draw a ball. Then what color is this ball? It's blue. Okay, what color is this ball? And somebody says some color that they remember. Okay, yellow, so make it yellow. This time I don't show the pencil. I wait if they can distinguish the color and take the proper pencil. Only for the slowest student, after a few seconds, I take my yellow pencil and color in the second ball. Then I say, because I usually use 3 colors, uh, this ball, the third ball, is blue, and they start protesting. No, red, it's red. No, I'm sorry, it's blue, believe me. Take a blue pencil and make it blue. It can be blue, it can be yellow, it cannot be red. Why? Because I have to get them used to instructions. But it is important what I am saying, not what they suppose they would do. Only the fourth one is red. Okay, make it red. And they are happy. So we have to teach them to be aware of our instructions. And it's very nice if you do it this way, because it's a very harmless way, and they get used to that idea. Okay, let's have a look what we have here. So we are going to summarize what they need to learn. First, in terms of listening skills. So it's comprehension. Then they learn the habit to hear the sound and to think about the meaning of the sound. We teach them to concentrate on the task and to be involved in the activity. In terms of communication, we teach them that the meaning of the sounds is important. We don't teach them the form. Unfortunately, a lot of teachers were taught this way. Focus on form. First the list of vocabulary, then the grammar rule, and now translate, please. And they apply the very same technique towards the children, which is absolutely horrible, because the children are not able to digest this way, I would say. So, on the other hand, they have a gift to grab the meaning much sooner than the adults. Yeah? We give them the reason to open the mouth, which is the rule valid even for teenagers. So if you teach teenagers, bear in mind that you have to give them the reason to open their mouths, because we give them something they don't want to deal with. Repeat the dialogue, learn the dialogue. You are A, you are B. Can you communicate together? That's exactly not what they are willing to do. So try to think about the reason so that they want to participate. Yeah. Then interaction, taking turns. Yeah. Pronunciation and intonation is something they acquire from you. So if you are not sure about your pronunciation, you should work on it a bit, because uh, your pronunciation mistake is not your mistake, it's the mistake of the person who taught it to you. Unfortunately, if you are a teacher, then you cannot stay calm. You have to do something with it. Yeah, so offer your students perfect pronunciation and intonation. Then, last but not least, social skills, which are very important for their lives in a society. It's much more important that knowledge, learning, and all these things. So cooperation, interpersonal relations, sharing, knowing the limits, interacting, greeting, sharing the same feeling. These are the important aspects of teaching. Okay, let's have a look here. This is a very simple rhyme which I took from Playway to English. You will see that in the resources at the end of my slides, and hopefully you will hear. No? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to say it. My blue train, my red plane, my green ball, my pink car, my yellow star. And it's got quite a nice musical accompaniment. So then it is the karaoke version. And I usually ask children, now it's your turn. Can you say it? And they repeat those, how many words? 11. 5 colors, 5 objects, and the word my. So they learn the rhyme. Then I usually offer them this kind of a worksheet. Have you noticed the first line is actually the text of the chant? So let's revise it. Can you say it with me? My blue train, my red plane, my green ball, my pink car, my yellow star. And the children color into pictures, and they have the text of the chant ready to be told to parents at home. The next lesson, I ask them, do you remember what color was the car? Oh, yeah, it was pink, but you know my car. I've got a red car. I love my car. Can you make it red in the second line? Can you color it in red? And what color was the ball? It was green, but how about a yellow ball? Can you make it yellow? And I discuss with children every new color. Have you noticed which tense I used for the questions? Yes, it was past simple. What color was it? Why not? Yeah. Okay. So they listen and react to my instructions. Okay, next. This is a board game that I made for a girl who was a bit slow. I think there were some learning difficulties in her. So I tried to offer her rich material so that she practices those 5 expressions. I used 2 dice, one with dots and one with colors. And the children threw the dice. The one with dots told them how many squares they should go and stop. And the dice with colors told them which color they are supposed to say. So, for example, it was 3, so we are on a star, and the color dice says red, so we say a red star. Then the dice says uh, 4, it's the train, and the color dice says green, and we say a green train. And we practice all those phrases without that my, so that the children know that we can name phrases without my in every and each of them. Okay. Actually, it didn't help much. It's very well accepted by the children with no difficulties. They enjoy it very much, but with this girl, it didn't work. So I asked my son to devise a hexagon with 5 sides. Oh, mom, you mean pentagon? Okay, whatever it is, can you make it and calculate the angle? And I inserted the pictures there so that I have a spinner. Okay, wait a minute. I will show you how the spinners work. Oh, if I find, wait a minute. Oh, they fell on the floor. Okay, so this is the spinner. This is a toothpick. You insert a toothpick in a spinner, put it on the table, and you spin. Okay, we have a star. And I do the same with the color spinner. Spin and wait. Wow, we have a blue star. Can you see that? It's fantastic because children absolutely love this movement. Now we have a pink car. It was in the chant, wasn't it? Okay, and the third attempt, we have a yellow star. So we are actually revising the chant. So it's very enjoyable with those little spinners. And I absolutely love working with spinners. They are in every material that I prepare for teachers because children love that spinning movement. And it's said that it creates the substance in your head that equals to the effects of drugs. So actually, they are addicted to drugs, but in a very positive way. Okay, so it really helped. And then I combined spinners and the worksheet. And the children in pairs spin the spinners. And every time they get the combination, they have to color in a picture. But they have just 3 chances. And sometimes they have a train 5 times. They don't need it. They are quite angry because they need a star and they have only one. Yeah. So it's really enjoyable. It's a hunt for different combinations. So that's another activity for work in pairs or in small groups with this little chant. I love activities that are variable for the children. Okay. I mentioned that we usually offer children nice, colorful course books. Do they really need podręczniki? Is it right? There are many discussions over course books. Actually, I collected some facts. So, if you are a less experienced teacher, then you might welcome the opportunity that the course book guides you through the course. All the materials are ready made for you. They provide well-structured content and quality support such as CD, sometimes puppets, flashcards, and so on. Sometimes stickers were very popular. So these are the pros. On the other hand, we have a lot of contradictory facts. They are not suitable for a constant work with little children because little children become bored with the course book. For the first time, they are really happy. They love it. They flick through the course book every time, and then you want to surprise them with a picture on page 25, and they say, oh yes, I know that picture, because they've seen it many times, and it's nothing new for them. Course books don't reflect on an actual situation. Can you imagine something happened, the accident outside the school, the helicopter, emergency helicopter landed on the schoolyard, so you are observing those emergency people taking someone to the helicopter, and when it leaves, you say, okay, and now we have that part with clothes and fashion. Can we come back to it? No, you lose their potential. Now they are open to speaking about what they've just seen. They are full of emotions, but the course book says no, clothes and fashion. I don't like it. Um, they deprive learners of the biggest motivational factor, which is surprise. If you surprise your children, then the success is guaranteed. Yeah. Sometimes, of course, books are not suitable for a certain cultural mentality of children. I chose a course book for teaching in a primary school, which I really liked. It was colorful, quite well structured. I thought it would be ideal. Then I discovered my children started to become bored and they didn't like working with it because it was about life in on the sea, on a ship. Yeah, we don't have the sea. So for the first time, it was fantastic, something unusual. But when they were floating on the ship all the time, every lesson for 3 months, my children started to ask for something different, what they know from real life. Yeah, so these are the negatives of the course books. So it's you who decides whether to use course book or not. Okay, how can we work without a course book? So first, we must think about a well-structured plan. We should choose the topics. Uh, at first, we are talking about greetings, about welcoming people, saying hello, who are you, what's your name, how are you, and so on. Then we usually speak about either about family or about animals, because all children love animals, and it's very easy. Who are you? I'm a cat. Who are you? I'm a dog. So it's a springboard for communication. Then we have a topic, for example, means of transport, toys, fruit and vegetables, and one more, which I will mention later on. We should think about organization. So how long should the lesson be? Where to do it? Do we have a corner for that, which is ideal to keep all the things in it? How about the management? How many children? How we are going to work with them? Then it's advisable to have a well-equipped classroom with pictures, toys, real objects, books, and so on. It's quite essential to have a rich bank of stories, chants, rhymes, and all those nice things. And the most important of them is songs. They really react well to songs, as you will see in a minute. So then you should know some games, communicative activities, circle games, recordings for listening, multisensory activities, so that the children absorb the language in every possible way. You should think about a classroom language and classroom arrangement, and I think that's quite enough about this. I wonder if you could see the video, so keep your fingers crossed for the video. No, it's a pity. Martin, can we try the?
Yes, I will maybe upload the link in the chat. What do you think?
If you can do that, that would be lovely. Because
Yeah,
I'm trying to search for it, but no.
yeah, I will. I will try it. I will try to do that.
Please
Give
do.
me, just give me minutes. Okay, just a moment. I need to open the file. Okay, Big Bad Wolf. Yeah. So yes, and now I type in the link into the chat box. So if you click that, it should open in your browser. Okay.
Okay. Martin, if it doesn't work, can you try another link?
Oh, it works.
Does it? I can't see it.
But no, it will not be displayed in the main
Ah,
window, but people can open it for themselves.
okay then. Okay. So let me know when you finish it, because I have a few questions.
There was a question about, is the session certified? Yes, we'll send the certificates to the people attending in the room. Okay, in our webinar room. Then probably today or tomorrow we'll send you the certificates.
Actually, the game repeats 3 times, so if you could see just one version of the game, then it's okay, and maybe we can go a bit further. Yes? Okay. So, can I click on another slide? Because it doesn't work here.
Just give participants a bit more time. Let's wait for their messages in the chat box.
Okay then.
Okay. Finished, okay? So, dear participants, if you only have finished watching, it's enough if you just watch one part of the game. Just type in finished in the chat box, okay?
Yeah, it's there, so we can go on.
Yeah, I think you can go on. Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so what makes the trick of good teaching? First, it's the teacher's personality. What do I mean by this? You should be able to provide your learners with the feeling of safety. What do I mean by that? Maybe you noticed that communication comes in two parts. One of them is verbal part and the other is non-verbal. Can you guess which part is bigger? Can you type in a chat box? Non-verbal or verbal? I can see that non-verbal, yes. Do you know the percentage of non-verbal versus verbal part in numbers? Uh-huh. Yes, I was taught at the university that it's 20 for non-verbal, sorry, 80 for non-verbal and 20 for the verbal part. But some universities introduce so-called Marsubian's model, which says 93% of non-verbal communication and only 7% for verbal part. So you are responsible for those 7%, and you have those 93 in your hands, in your face, in your movement, in your voice. So don't forget to use it so that the children can understand. I'm sorry. Okay, so you were able to see what makes the trick of good teaching. So good plan, profound structure, topics close to the children's world, balanced among their needs. Sometimes they need to talk about special topics. They need activities suitable for cognitive, social, and physical development, multisensory activities, and movement. They don't need to sit over course books. Bear this in mind. They are little children. They need to move. They need to live through the language. Okay, and look at the last sentence. This is for school children. After they start learning reading and writing in their mother tongue, it's really not very wise to introduce spelling in English, let alone if your script is different. Yeah. So let's give them 2 years to get used and to develop the habit of listening and understanding. Yeah. Why 2 years? Because that's a psychological aspect. 2 years is the essential period for the children to develop a habit. Yeah. You cannot speed it up. It's not possible. So please leave them the time to hear the sound and to estimate the meaning, to react to that sound. Yeah? Because if you don't give them enough time, and sometimes people say, oh, Mrs. Dolakova, they are not reading. Actually, they are not writing. They have just the picture of a cup. They have the word written under the picture, and then they have lines. They just copy the letters. They don't even have to think about that. Okay, would you like to forbid that? They are not stupid. I think we said cup, but I can see soup, which is phonetically read from those letters. Yeah, and some children start reading phonetically, which is a disaster, especially if you have autistic children. If they can see the word, you will never be able to force them to say it differently, how it is pronounced. And the dyslexics have enormous problem with it. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me, I need some help because my slides don't move. Can we do something with it, Marcin? Hello? Help, help. Okay. Uh-huh. Wait a minute. I will soon be where I want to be. Okay, I think that's this slide. Yeah, okay. So let's speak about the qualities of the teacher. The teacher should be a great observer. They should observe the signals of the children if they need some help, or if they need some support, or if they need to get a role so that they feel important. Yeah, they have to have nice rapport with children, very good level of English. The usual practice is that the teachers with a low level of their English are sent to teach the youngest learners because they don't need much language. Yeah, it's a common mistake. So the teachers of youngest children should be the best teachers in schools. We already talked about pronunciation. The teachers should be creative, inventive, able to use natural situations and non-verbal communication to mediate the meaning. Um, and they should be able to help children who need help. And now I'm mentioning a special group of children, and it has become a serious problem nowadays. I mean, children with specific learning difficulties, for example, dyslexics. Yeah. Uh, I studied this area so that I can help teachers to overcome troubles. And I discovered, or I was told, quite important thing that if you are a teacher at lower secondary school, you have 5% to help these students with dyslexic problems. You just introduce them some strategies to overcome the difficulties. If you teach at a primary level, then you have 10%. However, if you teach little kids up to the age of 7, then you have 75% to improve the life of dyslexics doing certain activities. When I realized that magical power, I started to invent all those activities and focus on them. And I will show you, sorry, some of those activities. Yeah. So, what they should do first, they should cultivate hearing and distinguishing sounds of the target language, not only target language, even the mother tongue. Yeah. They should train phonological awareness. I will speak about that later. They should develop sense of rhythm of speech, combine rhythm and sound, which is done in chants. They should practice visual perception of words without reading. So you can see two pictures. On the left, there is a frame shape of a word, and this word is the word apple. The box shows what space this word consumes on a page. Yeah? And the children should be exposed to the text to be able to perceive those little word boxes. They store them in their minds, and after they start distinguishing letters, they remind of that box and they just complete the letters in the box, which is a very quick way to learn reading. Yeah. However, if you teach them letters first, they are not able to combine the letters into a meaningful forms, especially children with a bad social background or with some learning difficulties. Yeah, of course, intelligent children are able to master it very soon, but it's essential just to read the children, to expose them to the text and listening. Yeah. They should train short-term and long-term memories. They should use songs because they combine rhythm, consistency, memory. They memorize the text. And moreover, songs have a magical power. They create, again, here in the brain, they create substance called serotonin, which is the hormone of happiness. And when you sing, you cannot feel sad. So if you feel sad, start singing because it will create that hormone of happiness in your brain and it will produce endorphins through all your body and you will start feeling very well. Believe me, I was in several difficult situations in my life, and when I started to sing, all the troubles have disappeared. Yeah? Okay, sequencing and ordering skills is the last thing the children should practice. Now I'm going to show you some examples. So here you can see 4 animals. Let's clap the names of the animals. So sheep, how many syllables? 1, 1 clap. Lion, 2 claps. Ladybird, 3 claps. Rhinoceros, 4 claps. So children learn about the length of the word and they get the message into their brains. If I clap once, it will be a short group of letters. If I clap 4 times, the long is going to be very long. Yeah? So it's the first message. Then they should distinguish sound, which is quite easy if the sound is at the beginning or initial position in the word. For example, sock, sun, swim, and so on. It's a bit more difficult if it is at the final position. Sun, rain, turn. And sometimes we ask them to find the word containing the sound, for example, b. So they go banana, crib, something with the B in the middle. I can't find anything. Able. Yeah. So they should think about the words that contain certain sounds. Because dyslexia is a difficulty that affects sensory perception, either visual or auditory. So if you teach them to distinguish sounds at the life period, which is open for this kind of perception, then you will succeed enormously. Yeah. So I strongly recommend doing these things, actually playing with words. Yeah. We can do that with a set of pictures. Can you see or can you guess which story it is? The pictures are taken from. I have the story next to me and I'm going to sing if the time permits. Um, soon. But now we are going to speak about sequencing and ordering. It's another important area of learning because not only dyslexics, but all children now have troubles keeping the flow of the story in their minds. I blame tablets and mobile phones with those games which click and shout and whistle and do everything, and the children are not concentrating on a flow of the story. So what you can see here are actually the text cards for the children. They have individual cards, which you can see. They are not all, there is one more. And the children can retell the story by the means of pictures that they can see. So the beginning is, once upon a time there lived three little pigs with their mom. One day they thought their mother is too caring, their house is too small, and they want to build their own houses. Yeah, so they use the words that you use to tell the story. And if they can hear the story several times, they would remember the sentences and phrases and they will use them. If you have this set of cards, you can do many activities. With the little ones, they can just put the pictures in order while you are telling the story. Or you can ask them to order the pictures after they listen to the story. So they have to keep it in their memory and to think, is this the first picture or that one? Yeah. Then, when they have this nice column of cards, you can turn one over and they don't see the picture. Do you still remember what it was? Can you retell this part of the story even if you can't see the pictures? And they try to overcome this gap. With older students, you just take one card away before you offer them the set. So tell them one card is missing. I'm sorry, it got lost. But it's your task to find out which card it is, which part of the story, and can you retell it so that we have this whole story. Then we can offer them, older students, we can offer them text cards to match the text and the picture. Or we can deal the picture cards and they have to write the story, the part of the story that goes together with their pictures. Yeah? And then you collect those written pieces and you order the story by the written text. Yeah, written text. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous now. Okay, so there are many ways how to use these little cards. Unfortunately, you won't hear the song, so probably I will try to sing it. Triangle is a shape with three sides, rectangle has four, circle has one side, and round and square has corners four. I would like to introduce to you a very powerful topic to teach, especially little kids. These are shapes. I told you how harmful is to teach letters to kindergarten children. It's much better to focus their attention on shapes because shapes represent all the world around us. If you look around, you can probably see many rectangles behind me. These are my favorite pictures. Or you can see, what can you see? The button of your screen, which is circular. Or you can see the boxes, the screen, the keyboard, which is rectangle. So the shapes are all around us. And they provide children with the information about space, size, shape, lines, curves, arches, and all those beautiful things. And when you think about letters, can you tell me what shape is in a letter A? Okay, can you see that? What shape is in it? Yes, it's a triangle. Now, can you imagine? I have to be very careful. No, not this way. This way. Letter B. What shapes can you see in a letter B? Actually, it's a vertical line and two. Sorry, I confuse left and right because I used to be a kindergarten teacher. Yeah, and everything was as in the mirror. So you have the line and you go around the circles. Yeah, C is actually a part of an oval, as well as a D combined with the vertical line again. So if you work with shapes, then the children get a lot of information about space, shapes, sizes, lines, and all those important things. And then reading is much easier for them. Yeah? We can work with shapes on some logical tasks. For example, you have 5 shapes and one is missing in the second line. So which one is it? Can you type it in your chat box? Which shape is missing? Yes, it's a square. What color is the square? It's orange, yes. An orange square is missing. So we teach them to make phrases, yeah, but also to use logical thinking because they have to use their brain screws to find out the information, yeah, and to formulate the result. Yeah, so it's very important for the children so that they work this way, for example. With shapes, you can do this activity, which is very useful for future IT specialists. It's called algorithm. It's a pattern that has to be followed. Either they draw the shapes and continue in the pattern, which is different in each line, or you give them or offer them the cards with the shapes and they continue putting the cards in a line. Yeah. Sometimes you use just 2 with little kids. With older kids, you can use 3, 4, 5 different shapes, and they have to repeat every now and then. It's very important to teach this skill. But we are in a different area of learning. It's not language. What area is it? And does it belong to the language learning? Yes. Yes, we can think about coding, and it belongs to the mathematical part. Yeah. So it's teaching about mathematics. And again, we make a lot of mistakes teaching mathematics, actually teaching the language. And I know that from one Polish teacher, Malgosia Petiurka, if you know this name, who said that we are spoiling the perception of numbers because we usually teach numbers in a line. 1, little 2, little 3, little Indians, 4, little 5, little 6, little, and we teach them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the children can see, for example, 4 apples in a bowl, and they are not able to say 4 apples. They have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 apples. How many teddy bears on a shelf? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 teddy bears. It's really harmful for them. So we should teach them subtizing. Subtizing is something like this. I will type this word in a chat box. Hopefully, okay. It's subtizing. And it's the ability to have a look at the group and without counting, to estimate how many there are. So this is taken from another set of mine focused on fruit and vegetables. These are fruit cards. I started with different colors of apples, and you can see different numbers of apples in each card. So they can complete the cards with the same number of apples. And you can see that each group of apples is different. For example, 2 red apples are in a horizontal position, whereas yellow apples are in a vertical position. If I say 4, red apples are as dots on a dice, whereas yellow apples are in 3 lines, 1, 2, 1. So, and the orange apples are 2 horizontal and 2 vertical. So they should recognize at the first sight how many apples there are. And when they deal with these cards, quite often they will need no counting whatsoever. They will be able to have a look and say 6 apples, just according to the shape the apples take in space. It's developing their logical thinking and mathematical skills, which is very important. And combining the language and mathematics is very useful for language skills and thinking skills. So, uh, okay. Oh, our time is almost up. No, 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 no. Sorry. Sorry, I got. Okay, so this is what I wanted to see. So let's summarize what the classes should look like. They should have a positive atmosphere. You should be able to offer them as much language as possible on a great level with excellent pronunciation. You should be creative and inventive to offer them fantastic opportunities to absorb the language from. You should have a bank of suitable materials, songs, pictures, whatever I mentioned before. You should focus all teaching activities on interaction, communication, because if you teach them at that early age, you can benefit from that later. Actually, my headmistress sent me to teach teenagers when I graduated from university. Oh, you are fully qualified in English, so you should start to talk with teenagers, which is horrible. Because if they are not taught from the very first moment that they should communicate to use the language, you are not able to start that. It's very difficult. Believe me, I tried many times. Whereas if you work this way with little kids, they use the language quite naturally. They don't have any obstacles to open their mouths and to express their thought. Don't forget multisensory reception, movement, rhythmical activities. encouraging adventurous incentives. Now I'm going to show you what I promised. And hopefully you will see everything what you need. So we were talking about the three little pigs. So now, is this a story or something else? Listen. Once there was a little pig who built a little house. He built it out of straw, not the best without a doubt. When the big bad wolf came round and knocking on the door, the little pig said, "No, no, no, no and never more." And what happened next? The big bad wolf took a deep breath and he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. Then the second little pig built a little house. He built it out of wooden sticks and nailed it all about. When the big bad wolf came round and knocking on the door, the little pig said, "No, no, no, no and never more." And what happened next? The big bad wolf took a deep breath and he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. The third and clever little pig built a little house. He built it out of solid bricks, built it safe and sound. When the big bad wolf came round and knocking on the door, the little pig said, "No, no, no, no and never more." And what happened next? The big bad wolf took a deep breath and he huffed and he puffed, but nothing happened. He huffed again and he puffed again and again nothing happened. The wolf climbed up the rooftop and took a look inside. There he saw the little pigs, all three side by side. He shouted down the chimney and made a big mistake. He fell into the boiling pot and howling ran away. And what happened next? Nothing. That's the end of the story. Or is it? What really happened next? Okay, so that was a story in a song. If you like the story, I put it on my Facebook site, which is called Story-Based Learning. You have it even with the tune and with the picture, or a set of dominoes, actually, with the three little pigs. And you can use the song as much as you can. Yeah? Okay, and the last slide or information. We don't teach English to little children. We teach them to think in it. And that's the difference between teaching teenagers or adults and children. Don't forget that fact. Okay, so that's everything from me. Here you can see the resources that I used for this webinar. And now I'm ready for questions. We have 10 minutes for the questions. So feel free to ask about anything what you want to know. Okay, thank you. I hope it was inspiring. If you want to know more, go to my Facebook page, story-based learning, and you will see a lot of other tips. And there are many more in my eShop. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't promote my materials, but last 9 years, I've spent 14 hours a day designing materials for teaching young children. And I put all my knowledge gained at conferences, trainings, everything what I considered useful, I put into those teaching materials so that you don't have to bother with designing anything else. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the link. So if you click on it, or you can find it on my website, there is the click on the Facebook, and there are there's some information about this story-based learning CLIL project, because it really is CLIL. All the materials are focused on language part, mathematics, science, music, art, movement, craft, and everything like this. Okay, questions. Great. Okay, I'm glad that I could inspire you. If there are no questions so far, 5 people are typing, so I will wait. Okay, spinner ideas are fantastic. And I put spinners into almost every set of materials because they really work miraculously. And maybe you notice in my resource bank, there is one title called English from the First Word. The date of publication is 2021, which means in the process of development. I'm waiting for the pictures. My illustrator is working on the pictures, and there will be a few more lessons like you saw the paper ball. Yeah, so it will be a series of lessons which you can use from the very first lesson up to 6 weeks or so. Then you can choose another set. Yeah, because I don't want to kill children with one course book for the whole year. So just a couple of weeks. Yeah, so it's going to be something like a course book. Yeah. So thank you everyone for nice words. And now maybe I missed some questions. Oh yeah, I was in Montenegro last year. Oh, I'm very glad that we already met, not only in Facebook, but also in person at the conference. Okay, and as Lucina already mentioned, I'm going to have a few more webinars. Uh, I think one is focused on pronunciation. One is focused on grammar. Sorry, I'm so busy that I easily forget what I promise. But on IATEFL Poland website, you will definitely find all that information. So if you liked my activities, then we can meet again with some ideas how to teach pronunciation or grammar or whatever. Oh, and stories, how to use stories. Okay, so these are 3 more webinars that I promised to do. Yeah. Is there anything else I should tell you? Or what happens if the kids cannot come to your classes and you have to teach them online? Actually, this is a problem because I focused all my activities in interaction, communication, dealing with each other, because they are quite used to deal with a screen. And I wanted to wake them up and tell them, hey, there is a person who wants to contact you. And online teaching is coming back to that initial um, situation. Uh, Luckily, uh, if you happen to have a set of my materials, you will discover there are many worksheets that you can use. You can send the children some tasks. You can teach them to make things with their own hands using the computer to show them. So I think there are some tips that you can use. Yeah. Okay. Any other? Yes, teaching online is very challenging, especially little ones. Actually, you can tell them the story. You saw that I sang the story for them. Sometimes I use telling the story, and I will next time with the story-based CLIL webinar. You will be able to listen to the story which you know in your mother tongue, and I'm not going to reveal what I'm going to do. You will see it yourself. Okay, so stories and other things. Yeah. No more questions? Okay, still some people typing.
Thanks a lot,
Okay,
Sylvie, for the great webinar.
thank you.
Been
Thank
a
you.
great pleasure to us. And if any other questions arise, we hope to pass them to you and invite you to the next webinar. Thanks a lot, Sina, for arranging this webinar with you. And we are absolutely mesmerized by your ideas. Thanks a lot and see you soon.
Thank you very much to all participants, and have a great time and no COVID around you. Bye.